I am going to answer a challenge that has been put in front of me with these silk fibers. The challenge came from Kylie Koo, and it is fabric. There are 3 of us that are participating in what we call Sister Tag. We created this short little intro. The challenge is no time frame, no constraints. One of us creates, throws that challenge out to the other 2, and the other 2 reciprocate by creating something and challenging back. Kylie put fabric out there in the last challenge, so I wanted to do something that was a little outside my normal comfort zone or outside what I normally do, and I purchased all of this silk, these silk fibers, and I will put a link in the description below to where I bought this silk, and a link to it on my Amazon storefront where I make a slight commission, but it doesn't change your price. So I would appreciate it if you decide to do this, if you would check out my Amazon storefront. So all I am doing at this particular point is just pulling those silk fibers away from the way that it came and putting it in a horizontal fashion. Now what you're seeing here is the start of this sculpture that I'm going to create. I've laid down a deli sheet, which you can see in that tannish color on the bottom. I have cut a piece of window screen long enough that I can lay my fibers out, and then when I'm finished, fold that screen over. So it is long enough to fold in half. So I will have a sandwich of screen, fiber, screen. I hope I'm making sense. So I laid my first layer down of this blue silk fiber. Now I am laying down a second layer in a vertical position. So first was horizontal, now I'm coming back with the green in vertical, and I'll go completely across it. This is a very meditative process, if you will, because it doesn't require a lot of thinking. You're simply just lightly pulling from that silk and laying those fibers down, cross-hatching it, if you will, one on top of the other. So I'm on my 3rd layer, going back now horizontal. And I will just continue to do that until I have what I consider a full-bodied substance. I wanted to grab the packaging for this. This came from Living Dreams yarn. It is 30% TUSSAH and mulberry silk. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's how it's spelled, TUSSAH and mulberry silk. It is 70%, it is 30% the silk and 70% wool, superfine wool. So that's, and excuse the crinkling of the bag, that is what that fiber is. So as you can see, I'm going back and forth, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Listen to me, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. And I think we're up to, if my count is correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. And I think the total that I do here is going to be 6. So this will be my final layer. I'm going back again with the green. And now it's time to kind of take a look and see if there's any weak spots and fill those in with a little additional fiber. Just kind of checking it out, making sure that every place is pretty covered, and just patching it with yet another little layer to get every little spot. Make sure that we have 100% coverage. So I'm going to put that silk away, pull that screen over the top, and grab my sponge and a glue and water mixture. This glue and water mixture is the same thing that I do. I'll link that up above for my homemade Mod Podge, if you will. But I watered it down just a little bit more to make it a little soupier, and not a lot, just added a tiny bit of water to it. And I am utilizing the sponge, picking it up out of that bucket and tapping it down on that screen to push it through the holes in that screen and into the fiber. And I want to make sure that I get 100% coverage with that. I'm coming back with my paintbrush and just going over it to the point that I know that I've covered every little area of that fiber with the glue. Now that I have that done, I'll just go over it one more time, and then I'm going to flip it and do the same thing on the back side. So here we go. We'll pull it up, give it a flip, and we're just going to make sure that we glue it the same on this side. Get through to all of those little fibers. So now everything is glued, and I want to create kind of a bowl structure out of this. So I've blown up a balloon. I'm going to tie that balloon off. I'm just kind of setting it down there to make sure that I don't have it too big. It has to be blown up to a size that I have enough of what I've laid out here to come up on the sides. And now that I'm ready, I'm going to take it off of my deli sheet, pull that screen off. The screen is not part of the structure. The screen is just helping me get the fibers all glued together. So I'm going to pull the screen back and start wrapping it around this balloon. And I'm always fearful I'm going to pop that balloon, but that doesn't happen, so that's good news. You're not going to hear that loud pop. And now that I have it up on the sides, I'm utilizing that brush, dipping it in that glue and smoothing it, so that I don't have any unwanted lumps or bumps in my finished piece. You can kind of see where it folds over itself and it gives you that little lump. That's not bad, but that can be smoothed out with the brush and the glue. And once I get it on here and looking the way that I am envisioning envisioning it to look, I will take the little tie and I am going to put a clip on the end of that and clip this up on a line in my studio and allow it to dry for at least 24 hours. And if it's not completely dry when I come back to check it, I'll leave it for another night. So it has hung. It is the following morning. I'm dressed for work. I'm actually coming over and checking my balloon before I head out. And I decide while I'm having my cup of coffee, I'll pop this balloon and get this out from my sculpture and allow it to sit without the balloon for the remainder of the day. So it is sticking to the sides, or it's still sticking to that balloon, so I kind of have to dig in there and pull the balloon from the fibers. And it hasn't sacrificed the structure at all. It's still a little pliable. So I do want to let it sit, maybe with a little weight in it, and have it dry a little further. It still could be slightly damp, if you will. So let's stick some weight in there. I have this jar of buttons that I think I'll pull and set in there, and I'll go ahead and attend about my day, and we'll come back and look at it again later. But this is how, oh, well, you can see Kurt had to get in the middle of everything as well. So he's sitting there. I guess he's going to watch it for me today. So I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Do you think that I answered this fiber challenge well? Or do you think I've just gone way too off the deep end with this? But in any event, what I have here is my fiber bowl. And I am envisioning lots of things. That Sharon, I sent pictures to Sharon and Kylie, and Sharon said, you need to put one of those little LED lights down inside it. That would be very cool because it is transparent enough with the fibers that light would shine through it. So, that is one thought, and I think that's a great thought. My daughter took it and put one of her plants down inside it, and as long as you don't overwater, I think that would be great. I certainly wouldn't want to get this wet, but I thought that was kind of cool, and I just personally kind of like it just stand alone. It's just a little sculpture. So I wanted to do one more. I went ahead and, well, I actually did 3, but I wanted to do one that was more vertical. So I had this 32-ounce flavored water bottle that you can see my daughter has put her name on to keep me out of in the refrigerator. And I am just wrapping one more of those. I didn't put you through the laying down of the silk fibers. I think you saw enough of that. So this one I'm going to let dry overnight as well, and we'll come back and see what that looks like too. So I made 2 bowls and this vertical. The 4th thing I did is I made a silk fiber with a lot of different colors, and I just laid it out flat and let it dry flat. I took that and made a collage with it. And I'm going to post that video here in a couple of days, and you'll be able to see how those silk fibers represented themselves on a canvas. And I did it in purples and greens and blues, and I think it looks pretty cute. My granddaughter wanted something for her room, so that one will be going to my granddaughter. But here is how that turned out after it dried. And I thought we'd turn off the lights and give it a shot, give this tall one a shot. It's a little thicker than the other one, but we'll see how it looks with the, please ignore the mess in my studio, but see how it looks with the light in it. And it does have some transparent spots that I think turned out well. So once again, this is my answer to the sister tag. If you want to participate with us, please post your videos on Instagram or over on Facebook or here in YouTube utilizing hashtag #SisterTag and come join us. Again, my name is Peg with Two Old Crows Mixed Media. Here is the Sister Tag playlist with the other videos right here on this end screen. Please come join me on my channel, subscribe. Go check out Kylie Koo and Sharon at Texture Junkies and subscribe to their channels as well. We all three would love to have you. Our styles are similar yet different. So if you like the kind of things we do, I think you'll like all three of us. So I shall say bye for now.